Oh, welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Friday, where we race. It's a doubleheader, of course. So we race in Gqeberha at Fairview during the course of the day, and we also race at Hollywoodbets Greyville. But the preview we're doing for this show will be with Grant Paddock, who is our analyst from PE, and he's going to be taking us through all 9 races. And there's some quality to speak about on this card, and we'll get to some of those races later on in the day. But let's introduce Grant, and a very good day to our racing fans wherever you're watching this broadcast. How are you doing, Grant?
Morning, Dees. Morning. All good this side. Thank you very much.
How you been playing?
Up and down, Dees. Last week was pretty good. It wasn't too bad at all.
We've got 9 races carded, Grant. So race number 1, which is a juvenile plate over 1,200 meters, doesn't form part of the exotics. I'll give you the betting at the time of recording. Horses in single figures, of course, proudly brought to you by Hollywoodbets. Number 1 at 4-1, number 3 at 8-1, 12-10, number 4 Questa, and then 33-10, number 7 Swiss Walt. Just looking at the first race, Grant, can we bank some cash to possibly spend on the exotics later on, or you're not convinced with any of these?
No, you can bank some cash here, D's. 12-10, generous price. Probably going to start in the red. Questor's done absolutely nothing wrong. 2 good runs. I must just tell the punters, this is a grass meeting, but there's a lot of rain predicted for this evening, and I think if it does come, we're going to be moving to poly, so they've got to take that into consideration as well. But I'm going to tip it as it is a grass meeting, and Questor very, 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 very hard to beat. Kamala up, good draw. No talk actually for the 1 or the 3 on the ground, but the yards were quite confident of decent runs if they weren't too green. Then obviously Swiss Walt is here to look for that 100 grand bonus. It's not a bad run last time out, but I think they're going to have to run to beat Questor here, D's.
The drop in distance doesn't concern you at all from 1,400 to 12 this time?
I actually thought there was a 1,400 on the day, and I thought they'd run this horse over there. And obviously, they're going to take him up there in the 12. And not a problem at all. Karari out of a Fort Wood mare, probably going to be better over 14 and even a bit further. But they probably sharpened him up back home, and he's got the right kind of a field.
There was some money for this horse winning Grace first time out. I see 20-1 into 10-1. That wasn't the worst of first runs.
Yeah, not a bad run first time out. She can only improve from that. I can tell you this, the other horse from the Mitchley yard, I went and had a look at him on Monday, an absolute beaut. This horse, See the Badge, number 5, and he's a horse that guys must definitely follow in the next couple of runs. Smashing looking colt, and probably when he goes a bit of a trip as well. A really, really good looking horse.
Well, race number 1, Grant suggesting number 4 Questa worth a punt on the head, and he says 12-10. Generous, so maybe we can bank some cash there in the first. The second race starts off the bar pot. It's over 1,400 meters. It's a juvenile plate at the time of recording. Betting number 2 at 6-1. And then we got number 10, who is renowned. That's at 18-10. Number 16 at 3-1. It's 10-1 and better the balance. The start of the bipot. How many horses will we need to include here, Grant?
Bipot, you're going to be needing 3 horses here, D's, 14, 10, and 16. Quite a bit of talk for the 14, I must be honest with you. From a 1 draw, Louis in absolutely brilliant form. Big runner. Public Benefit, done absolutely nothing wrong. She's improved with every run. Is a filly against the boys, but she was last time out and the previous time. So she's a really big improver. And obviously the Cape Town horse, renowned. The Snaith Yard probably looking for a bit of that 100 grand here as well. Probably the right kind of a race. She ran 16 days ago, 4 lengths of Zumi. I don't know. I'm probably going to go with a local horse here, the Charioteer, to beat Renowned and Public Benefit. Those 3 should get you through the bipot, D's.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I didn't call out the betting on 14, but I actually took it down because I made this a value in the race. That's at 10-1, Grant, and it's a massive draw swing around. You look at that, 11 and now draw 1.
Yeah, 100%. And if it does go to Polly, those Sharon Costin horses love it. Louis from draw 1, he'll probably take it to the front and dictate and then skip at the right time. So big runner, 10-1, definitely the wrong price.
Yeah, I must agree with that. I think both Grant and I agree. And number 14, the Charioteer, is the value in the race. And by the looks of things and the sounds of things, from what Grant is saying, that 10-1 is not going to last. So hopefully you get on. 3 horses in the bar pot, 14, 16, and 10. Then on to the place accumulator, which is race number 3. It's over 1,400 meters. This is the way they're betting here, Grant. Number 2 at 18-10. Number 5 at 8-1. Can't believe the odds of that horse. And then number 9, Savick, at 18-10. The last time I worked with you, you made this horse 3 rocks, an absolute 5-star bet. The horse was in the red, but you were spot on with the exacta with number 9, Savick. Are you going to give Savick a chance this time round to get it right?
Yeah, she has definitely decent. Listen, it's tricky kind of a race this, because this horse stage play comes into it if they move over to Polly. There's no doubt. A very good run last time out to Jumbo Sana, and she's a fit horse. Savik's probably stayed here with one of the local trainers, and Richard Farid jump on. So there's a bit of a jockey strike there with Savik. And then you did mention horse Fire Chaser. Big runner, Dees. She's come on very well from her first run. She's definitely going to be in the first 3. And then Amazing Colours, the draw could be a problem there if it does go over to Polly. But her last run to Joy and Peace was excellent. And on that form alone, on the Joy and Peace run, who's highly rated by the yard, Amazing Colours is probably going to get my first choice from the likes of Savik, Fire Chaser, as well as Stage Play.
Yeah, she is proving a bit costly to follow now, Amazing Colours, Grant. You know, just considering the odds at her last 2 starts, but it looks like the right type of field.
Yeah, she's been very green. She was very backward when she started, but she's been fancied by the yard regularly. She's just one of those horses that's probably going to need a bit of racing. Now, she's out of a black Manaloosh. They can be hot if they want to, and I think she's a progressive. These Heavenly Blues have really hit the ground running, and I think she's probably the right horse in the race, Dees.
Well, Grant found the 10-1 shots in the previous race, the Charioteer. I like that. And he also agrees that number 5, Fire Chaser, at 8-1 could be value here. Place accumulator, how many horses would you include here, Grant?
Because it's a juvenile race, I would go Savick, and I would go Amazing Colours and Fire Chaser, those 3.
2, 5, and 9 for the place accumulator. But again, Grant erring on the side of caution at the time of recording. If the meeting is changed to the Polly, then keep an eye out for number 10, Stage Play. On to race number 4, start of the pick 6. It's over 1,400 meters. This is a maiden plate. The way they're betting at the time of recording: 1, 4-1, 2 at 33-10, 3 at 6-1. Then we got 10 at 11-2. And the balance of the runners are all 10-1. I don't know what you made of Mohanda's debut run, because the money was there, the Cape form was there, but he was just disappointing on the day.
Yeah, he's played up before the race, sweated up badly. Probably, not really knowing the surrounds around him. He's been here now he's gone over to Zarnell Yard. He's the right horse in the race, but you've got to watch him go down. It's a very tricky race, so I don't like it. Very tricky. You're going to have to go a couple of horses. What I can tell you, this horse, number 3, Elusive Justice, is putting up very good work. And he wasn't far off them in Johannesburg, 4 lengths, 3 lengths, 6 lengths. That's good enough to be very competitive down here, and the yard is in top form. Sandile riding very well. I did hear a squeak for American Dazzler to run a decent kind of a race. Opening ceremony, back in trip, and this is the kind of a race where you can pick up big problems. Even a horse like Miss Tuck, I've been waiting for this filly to go a bit of a trip. But she's also had a lot of racing recently, and the yard is not really in the best of forms. Very tricky kind of a race. I've gone for Mohandas to win it, but you're going to have to look how he behaves himself. Woodland Ridge, Elusive Justice, and I think I put in the 7 opening ceremony to round up the quartet. But go wide in the pick 6, and just to get through these tricky race.
That last start of Western Jack, that work riders race, is that a form line to follow? Because that was big improvement.
I don't know so much about a form line to follow. It was big improvement. He's never been any shorter than 35-1. He's now 11-2. I think they're marking up on jockeys. Not for me, Dees.
And then I just want to point out something here, Grant, that I've just noticed and just shed some comment. If this reserve runner gets in, number 18, surely she could be a massive runner if she gets in. Number 18, Mary Maria.
Yeah, she'll win these. If she gets in, she'll win. There's no doubt. She ran behind Higreed last time out, finishing off very strongly. Didn't know what she was doing from the back of the field. If she gets in, she wins.
Yeah, I think that is worth noting, because at the time of recording, there have been no scratchings here. I don't know how it is with the horses traveling from Glens Yard to Gqeberha, but if she does get in and maybe there's an early scratching, keep an eye out at the scratchings, because 18, Grant says, will win if she gets in. So race number 5 is the Fairview 1400. And of course, it's over 7 furlongs, and there is some proper quality here. Some of the best in Port Elizabeth take their place. And let's have a look at the way the market is betting. Number 2, Kaya's Hope at 16-10. 3, Inherit the Rain, 7-1. 5, Bush Tracker, 8-1. There's money, Hollywoodbets Anti-Post for number 6, Silver Falcon, from 11-2 into 4-1. It's then 10-1 and Better the Balance. You know, whilst I have a lot of respect for all these horses, some of them are in good form, but I mean, Kaya's Hope, the way this horse has been training on with Gavin, I think the right horse at the top of betting boards and possibly the one to beat here, Grant.
He's been off for 90 days. He had an issue. He had to go to Cape Town for a procedure. He's back now. I'm not sure on his fitness. You know, they have had interrupted preps. Top horse, no doubt about that. I'm just a little bit wary on his readiness. This horse, Silver Falcon, definitely the horse to beat. Solid Cape Town form. That 2 lengths to Quasi for sure in season in Cape Town is way stronger than what he's taking on here now. Even though this is a solid field, they're going to have to run to beat Silver Falcon, there's no doubt. Then you have the likes of Mount Anderson, 1400 meter specialist, probably well weighted. The draw's not a concern, he comes from off them, but a really strong field. The likes of Bush Tracker holding form, Tarantino won a good race, and if it going to Polly, then the likes of Green Light to Heaven and Naval Secret also come into it. So it's unfortunate you're going to have to go wide in the pick 6 here, Dees. I don't think that Kaya's Hope is a banker by any means. So you're going to have to go wide, but I'm definitely in the camp of Silver Falcon. Yeah, I think those Cape Town forms is very strong.
Well, that's why we got Grant Paddock on the show. He's got his ear on the ground, and he's given us some valuable information with number 2, Kaya's Hope, that I didn't know. Went to Cape Town for a procedure, and he mentioned layoff, interrupted prep. How are you going to read it? Do you think he's going to be 90%, 80%, or 100% ready for this race? Well, you're going to have to be the judge. Maybe Nadine, who does a sterling job with the interviews there, maybe you can listen into interviews and you'll hear what Gavin Smith has to say. But number 2, Kaya's Hope, we'll see how that one goes. But Grant, 4-1, that looks attractive now, the way you're talking this horse up. Number 6, Silver Falcon.
Yeah, 100% D's. Question mark there, the rain comes and it moves to Polly, because he hasn't been on the surface. And then the likes of Acorn and Teatro come into it. So punters need to be careful in this race. Wait for any changes and then take it from there. But as we stand on the grass, Silver Falcon hard to beat.
Okay, on to race number 6 now, and this is over 1,600 meters. It's a fillies and mares 72 handicap. At the time of recording, this is the way they're betting. Number 5 at 6-1. Number 8 at 6-1. Then we got a horse that's been supported anti-post. Number 13, Angel C, from 7-2 into 3-1. And it is 10-1 and Better the Balance. Grant, we worked last time out, and you really liked Angel C at the back. And again, she just got going a bit too late.
Yeah, these I wish I could have used that excuse. Absolute shocker from Richard in the saddle. I can't see him doing it twice. He had the inside run, decided to come out, got beat. Wasn't his best ride. He'll make up for it. I'm still sticking with it. Strong banker in everything. Best bet on the part of my double for the day. It'll be a hard nut to crack. If anybody wants to cover, you cover with the silvery blue, the 5 horse, as well as the 8 horse that's going to be down here. But I'm very, very strong on the 13.
Well, never say die. Grant Paddock willing to give Richard the chance to redeem himself after last time out on number 13, Angel C. And we like the confidence coming through from Grant there. 53.5 on her back. Can she get it right this time round? Well, Grant is hoping so. The cover with numbers 5 and 8, but fighting talk there for number 13, Angel C. Then on to race number 7. The listed feature, the Milkwood Stakes, is over 1,000 meters. This is the way they're betting. 2 at 8 to 1. Number 3 has been supported anti-post on Hollywoodbets from 5 to 1 into 4 to 1, 4 at 7 to 1, 5 at 8 to 1. And then you got the 18 to 10 shot, number 9, Hunting Trip, and number 10, Body Electric at 5 to 1. It's 10 to 1 and better the balance. I firstly just want to have a glance at the best weighted column here, Grant, which is usually a guide, and it's topped clearly by number 3, Fedra at 105, and then Hunting Trip at a 99, Civil Rights 97, and then Joint Franca and Redberry at 96. Let's begin with Hunting Trip and Body Electric, because of course we know they faced each other down in Cape Town. I see, with the weight-wise, this horse, Hunting Trip, should still win. That's the way I see it, even though there's some weight that's against number 10, Body Electric.
Yeah, listen, on the weights, Body Electric can't beat Hunting Trip. They'll probably end up running 1-2. Another big factor, obviously, if we move to Body Electric's drawn out at 11, there's going to be an issue there. Of the local horses, Civil Rights and Pedra, there's not much between the two of them. Civil Rights ran in front of Pedra quite comfortably last time out. Pedra did have looks like it had a small minor issue with being examined and then found to be found normal. Very good filly, but probably coming to the end of her career, closer to the stud farm, but very, very good filly and done extremely well for the Cotton Yard. I'm definitely going with the 3-year-olds here, D's Hunting Trip to beat Body Electric, and back up with being Civil Rights and Pedra. But I think the Cape Town horses are the right horses here.
Well, going with the visitors, and of course the weight favor is against Body Electric this time round. So Hunting Trip, the clear choice, and therefore 18 to 10 and 5 to 1. If you're looking for cover, Grant suggesting numbers 3 and 4. Then on to race number 8. This is a merited 90 handicap. It's over 1,000 meters, and this is the way they're betting. Number 3, Spider's Corner. First run in Kabeja, used to be with Duncan Howells, now with the Miller Yard. That's at 7 to 2. Then we go on to number 8 at 4 to 1. 9 is at 11 to 2. 11 at 7 to 1, and 12 at 8 to 1. I don't have an opinion here, Grant. It's all left to you. I just hand over the baton to you.
Thank you, Dees. Yeah. I like the youngster here, Liddell's Echo, back over the 5 furlongs. Very, very good run at the 82 level to Al Qasim last time out. He got tired late, but he was drawn out at 7. He's much better draw at 5. The filly from the Duncan Mackenzie yard, Angel Debs, also, she doesn't know how to run a bad race. She beat Redberry very, very comfortably last time out. No issues with course and distance. Spider's Corner is a tricky one. You know him from your side, and I think he was quite decent at one stage. Probably, I don't know if he's going to need a run. He's only been off 65 days with the rains that we've had down here. Maybe a little bit of an interruption. Him and a horse like Gallop probably going to just need it. Interesting running here is the 5 Remar back in the 5 furlongs. She had won a very good race here first time out, and then they tried all different kinds of distances, and now back to the 5 furlong. But I think Liddell's Echo is going to be too quick for them, and especially if it goes to Polly.
Liddell's Echo could be a very popular place accumulator inclusion. Yeah, Spider's Corner started off his career exceptionally well, Grant, with Duncan Howells. And then he's just very low on confidence, having not won for 733 days. But the fact is that Cliffy has engaged the services of Louis Mkotla, and 1,000 meters is his favorite distance. So I'll keep an eye on him. I think he's one that will definitely gain interest come race time. And if there's any support for him, showing that there's confidence coming through, then he's one that we'll include in everything, because he is a fairly decent individual, just very low on confidence, having not won for some time. Then on to race number 9, which is over 1,200 meters. It's a merit-rated 78 handicap, and this is the way they're betting. Number 2, which is Caitlin's Boy, that's at 4-1. Then we go on to number 3, Cruisador. There's money for this horse, Grant. Outside betting support, Hollywoodbets 16-1 into 12-1. Then we go on to number 8, Slim Yanni at 4-1. And you had to like that introduction. I know it was on the poly track, but that was a good run at 4-1. And then number 12, Axel, is a 5-1 shot here. Interesting runner that the Andre Nel Platner combination, sends down with Anthony Andrews, because that Cape Town form could be good enough. But do you feel that this horse, Caitlin's Boy, can make it 3 on the bounce?
D's comfortably. My honest opinion, I think that's going to move to Polly. He's drawn 1. The way he won last time out, he won with a lot in hand. Finished off the race in 23 flat. There's only a kilo difference between him and Slim Yali, who I think is his biggest danger. But he won very, very easy last time out. And I'm very strong on Caitlin's Boy. I've made him my best bets on the day. I think 4-1 is very generous. The danger, Slim Yani Axel, son of Zeus, also won very, very well first time out here. And the pick 6 you need to add if you're going to go a bit wider here, Madam Vicky and Cruisador. Cruisador battles to run 2 races the same. It's always one decent run and one off the board. So not very reliable. He will win again soon, but I don't know if tomorrow is going to be the day. I'm very strong on Caitlin's Boy at East.
Yeah, this meeting obviously on the turf at the time of recording. I think you'll be even more confident if they move it to Polly with 2 Caitlin's Boy.
100% D's. I know what this place is like. I was there on Monday. You do well planting rice. There's a lot of mud around. I don't know how it could have dried up in the 4 days, but let's see. And it's overnight rain predicted, so I'm pretty confident we're going to go to Polly. But we're on grass so far. But punters must just have a look tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. What's happening? Well,
you had to like some of the races that Grant has previewed. Grant, did you give a suggested best for the show?
I have done D's. Obviously, my best bet number, race 9, number 2, Caitlin's Boy. My value bet, race 3, number 5, Fire Chaser. And my suggested bet is a win double, race 6, number 13, Angel C, onto race 9, number 2, Caitlin's Boy. I think the punters will get a decent price. I think it's 3-1 and 4-1, so they should get a decent price on the double.
And then can we add as the value in race 2, the Charioteer at 10-1 for places there?
100% D's wonderful. You can add that into that multiple and make it a treble, finishing on the place.
Yeah, some nice value there from Grant. Not horses in the red, not horses that are short. He's picking out horses that he likes at 4-1 and better. So Grant, as always, thank you, and hopefully things go according to plan, and all the best to yourself and your family and everybody within the racing fraternity down in Gqeberha.
Thank you very much, D's. Go well.
Thanks a lot. That's Grant Paddock doing the preview for our Friday race meeting. Keep an eye. We preview the show like they're running it on the turf track, but Grant mentioned that there'll be inclement weather throughout the week and there might be a change to the poly. So just keep an eye on the card changes and, of course, a track change that may come along. But from the entire team, that's Grant Paddock, Gallop TV, and myself, Dees Dana, and hopefully it turns out to be a great day if you're racing in Fairview. Find all the winners, make a huge profit, and until we meet again, you take care.